I'd like to give a shout out to my first super sponsor on Patreon, Rye Hyena. You can subscribe for shout outs, video and merch work in progress, as well as full resolution albums of each suit I finish a week before they go public at patreon.com/TunnySaysIDK. So, I wanted to talk a little bit about Basalt. Basically, he was inspired by the fire effects on Big Thunder Mountain in Disneyland, where they have like these little dynamite things that blow up, and they also have little chaser lights to do the dynamite fuse. It's really cute. I'll probably put some video in. Check that out. So I wanted to basically do the same kind of effect for a fire-breathing dragon, and I looked around online to find tiny fog machines, and the tiny fogger was the smallest one I could find. At the time, at least, I feel like I've seen cosplayers that have done cosplays with like smaller fog effects, so there's probably a smaller one now, but I basically doodled up a design and posted it on Twitter and was like, I wasn't even like looking for somebody to buy it, I was just like, look at this crazy idea I had. And then the same person that bought the Mystery Claus dinosaur Hex ended up sending me a message and claiming him, and then that's how he got made, basically. And I'm gonna do a little video going through all the features and kind of how everything works. I'm not really doing a tutorial quite yet, but I'm getting the hang of programming like LEDs, small servo stuff, little bits here and there, so maybe I'll do an electronics tutorial video one of these days, but not quite yet. But let's check out all his bits. Alright, so I wanted to do a little detailed video, both for Basalt's owner and just to kind of show off all his features. So we've got his little neck pocket here. This has the fan and the fan button and the power bank for that, and that's just a Fursuit Supplies fan. And then it's got the battery pack and the board for the LEDs. And then this is the button for the LEDs, and it basically just comes out this way. And then we have the cord for both the remote and the battery for the fog machine. And this is the battery for the fog machine. This has to go like in your shorts pocket. Basically thread it down your shirt and then stick it in your shorts pocket underneath the fursuit legs. So you'll need some sort of shorts with pockets in them, or I just wore joggers. And then this is the remote for the fogger, and it's super duper long. And I just threaded this through the sleeve and down into the paws alongside the button for the LEDs. So then we open the mouth, and this is all the mechanics inside it, which I'll do with my phone for close-ups. Okay, that's a lot better. So we can see the fan right here. That's just a little First Seed Supplies fan. I think it's the medium-sized one. And then we have the fogger right here, which and then the LEDs right there, and all the wires. You can see it. The wires kind of thread underneath the fogger. And I'm going to take all the bits out, I think, real quick. This is little screws, but you don't have to unscrew this part. You can just slide the fogger out. Oh my god, are you serious? So it slides right out. Cat's gonna sniff it. Excuse me. Are you gonna help? Okay. So this is the fogger. Outside of it has a little power button here to turn it on when the battery is attached. And then the battery hooks up in the back here. And these are the little, it's completely empty. I used all of it. But these are the little syringes full of fog liquid that go into it. It's got a whole kit. So, yeah, there's a whole kit for it. A whole big old briefcase full of stuff. Hi! Oh my gosh. So since I'm packing him up, I'm going to go ahead and take this whole thing out. Take both these. Take the whole fogger out. There. Put the battery. Put the battery too. And this will go back in the little case. And then we have, you can see the LED panel is just kind of, hey, you're biting now, chill. The LED panel is just kind of wedged in here so that it can be taken out. But I'm going to leave it in there for now because it doesn't need to be taken out like the fog machine does. And all these LEDs are replaceable too, so if they burn out, you can replace them, or if you want to put in different colors, you can do any colors you want. I got blacklight ones, I got green, blue, whatever. Right now it's just red and yellow to make it look fiery. Yeah, you agree? And then this fan is permanently installed. It's just hot glued in there. And then this is the wire for the LEDs that goes up into the nut pouch. And then for programming, these are all soldered onto a little, I think this is an Arduino Nano, trinket right there. Got it. And I can still reprogram it with this USB port, so I've been thinking about making the fire sequence a little bit longer, a little bit more like fadey, because it kind of cuts off. But that way I can just send a text file of the new programming to the owner, and they can plug it in and put the new programming in it, and it can do all kinds of new stuff. LEDs work with this little button here that can go down into the sleeve. Oh, I'm dropping it. It's on a little bit of a delay. I had originally had it hooked up to the board so that the board would be on and the button would just trigger the LEDs to work, but then I burnt out that little port, so I had to make it so that this turns the entire board on, so it takes a little bit of time for it to warm up. And that little top one isn't working because it came unplugged, because I was messing around with it when I was taking pictures, but I will plug that back in before I send it out for sure. There's the removed LED panel, and basically these little tabs just pop open. And then you have your LEDs popped through. Hello. Got your LEDs popped through, so since this first one is coming unplugged, since this first one is coming undone, I'm going to go ahead and tape it. I thought the tape would help, but I think I pulled on it too hard. But this is a chance to show what the LEDs actually look like. So there we go. Each of them is attached to a little pigtail wire, and just plug it in. side with the little silver tabs down. Just close it like that. And the other one, I'm just doing this, so let's take all this cabinet. And you can see they're all just little LEDs with little pigtails that can be easily removed, swapped out, changed colors, whatever you want to do, really. And they have different lengths on them because that's the way the voltage goes. So you gotta make sure to keep the anode and the cathode on the right sides. That's why you plug them in with this side down, and they're bent a specific way as well, so that you can't plug them in backwards. And then they just pop through on here, and then when you close it up, they stay popped through the little holes. So as far as hooking it up goes, we have a little audio cable looking thing for the remote, and that goes right in here. And then this one for the battery goes in there. Goes right in there. Fogger, and the fogger's ready to go. Take the battery, this over to the battery. Alright, and then it's ready to go. Now I'm just going to test real quick that the LEDs are all plugged in all the way. There we go, got all 5 of them. And they'll basically keep looping this little flickery sequence as long as you hold the button down, and then it cuts off when it stops. That's something I want to fix. I want to make it so that it fades out when you pull your hand off the button, so it's not just a straight cut. But like I said, I can reprogram the code and send it to the owner later on. So we got one button for light, one button for fog. As far as putting the head on, put it right here. I'm going to take the battery first, write it down your shirt. Don't play with that. Hey, then you're going to thread it down your shirt into your pocket, and then this shirt will go over the fursuit pants. And then you're going to take this away from the cat. Remotes, and I did them with the same hand. You could do them with opposite hands if you wanted to, but you're gonna thread them down your sleeve. Where's number 2? Ah, and there's both the remotes. in your hand. And then to unthread, same thing. Basically, I kept myself threaded up and then just held the head in my hand for when I was checking pictures and setting up, and then I would put the head on and then take it off, check all my pictures, and just hold it right next to me. Down sleeve. Okay. And then for the claw, basically put it on, kind of slid it in there at the same time. And what I did was, I did button side up, basically so I could just kind of flex my fingers inside the claws, and that was enough to press the buttons. So let's slide them in, and then you can see from the outside a little bit. I kind of slid the square one up in there, you can see where it's at, and then slid my finger over it so that I was able to push the button inside the claw.